O.J. Simpson's case is one of the most known and controversial cases of all time. He's a former NFL football star, actor, and broadcaster. He was a convicted armed robber and kidnapper known for being charged with the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman. O.J. Simpson was born on July 9, 1947 in San Francisco, California. At the age of 2, Simpson contracted rickets, leaving him pigeon-toed and bow-legged. He wore a pair of shoes connected by an iron bar for a few hours every day until he was 5 years old. Simpson's parents separated in 1952 along with a brother and 2 sisters. He was raised by his mother, and at the age of 13 he joined a gang called Persian Warriors. One fight landed him at the San Francisco Youth Guidance Center for nearly a week in 1962. Simpson displayed immense promise on the gridiron for Galileo High School. He had poor grades that messed up his chance to play on a major football program. After going to the City College of San Francisco, he was admitted to the University of Southern California as a running back. Simpson gained fame as a 2-time All-American running back for the USC Trojans, setting NCAA records and winning the Heisman Trophy in 1968. Simpson joined the professional Buffalo Bills in 1969, but did not excel until the offense was made for him to showcase his running skills. He was nicknamed the Juice and had over 1,000 yards rushing over 5 consecutive years and led the NFL in the category 4 times. In 1973, he became the first NFL player to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a single season. He also established league records with his 23 touchdowns in 1975 and 273 rushing yards against the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day, 1976. After retiring from professional football in 1979, Simpson moved on to a profitable career as a sportscaster and an actor. Simpson later appeared in The Naked Gun 1988 and its sequels, playing an assistant detective and regularly appearing on TV commercials. Simpson was married twice and had 5 kids, 4 of whom are living. Simpson married Margaret L. Whitley on June 24, 1967. They had 3 children together. Daughter Era Simpson, who was born in 1977, died a month before his 2nd birthday when she drowned in the family's pool. Simpson and Margaret divorced in 1979. While still married to his first wife, Simpson met waitress Nicole Brown that was just a teenager. Simpson and Brown married in 1985. The same year he was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They had 2 children together, Justin and Sydney. Nicole Brown complained about her marriage to her friends and family members, telling them that Simpson was physically abusive. Following a fight between the two at a 1989 New Year's Eve party, in which he allegedly threatened to kill her, the former NFL star pleaded no contest to spousal battery. He would later say in an interview with ESPN, noting, "We had a fight, we were both guilty, no one was hurt, it was no big deal, and we got on with our life." She filed for divorce in 1992. On June 12, 1994, the bodies of Nicole Brown and Rod Goldman were found stabbed to death outside of her place in Los Angeles. Evidence led police to suspect Simpson of the murders. He made a call on the freeway that led the police to his location. This led to the famous nationally televised slow-speed chase of a white Ford Bronco. The car belonged to an ex-NFL player who was at the wheel while Simpson was in the back seat. Simpson finally surrendered voluntarily on June 17th at his Brentwood mansion. Although he was found to be in possession of a gun, his passport, $9,000 in cash, and a disguise, he insisted that he was not running. Later he pleaded, quote-unquote, absolutely positively 100% not guilty to the murder charges. Simpson's criminal trial for the murders was called the Trial of the Century. The case started on January 24, 1995, and ended October 3, 1995. The jury in Simpson's criminal murder trial was stuck for nearly 9 months, longer than any other jury had been in California history. Simpson assembled a legal dream team of lawyers that reportedly cost him an estimated $50,000 a day. The lawyers successfully raised doubts about the handling of the evidence. The lead prosecutor appeared to have a strong case against Simpson, as a glove matching the one found near the dead body surfaced on Simpson's property, while DNA testing connected him to the bloodstains left behind. However, Cochran famously dismissed the matching gloves in his closing statement, noting, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." On October 3, 1995, the jury found Simpson not guilty of either murder. It was one of the most watched events in television history, with 150 million people tuning in to hear the verdict. Simpson was forced back to court for a civil trial, and in February 1997 he was found liable for the wrongful deaths of Nicole Brown and Goldman. He was ordered to pay their families $33.5 million in damages. Simpson moved to Florida in 1999, in large part due to a state law that prevented his home from being seized to help cover the civil damages. He auctioned off his historic belongings to raise money and harbored hopes of returning to show business. Simpson found himself back in headlines after allegedly attacking a driver in a road rage incident in December 2000. He was acquitted the following October. In October 2008, Simpson was convicted of 12 counts of armed robbery and kidnapping, along with Clarence Stewart. The two men were found guilty of robbing two sports memorabilia dealers at gunpoint in a Las Vegas hotel room in 2007. Simpson, who was immediately taken into custody, told the police that he was just trying to reclaim his possessions. In December 2008, Simpson and Stewart were sentenced up to 33 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 9 years. Simpson spent nearly 9 years in prison for armed robbery and kidnapping. He was sentenced to prison on December 5, 2008, and was released on parole of October 1, 2017. In May 2013, Simpson began a new trial to reinvestigate his robbery and kidnapping charges, claiming that one of his attorneys, Yale Gallanter, had given him poor advice during his 2008 trial. Simpson told the courtroom, "It was my stuff, I followed what I thought was the law." The former running back testified in a Las Vegas courtroom. He also told the courtroom, "My lawyers told me I couldn't break into a guy's room. I didn't break into anybody's room. I didn't try to muscle guys. The guys had my stuff, even though they claimed they didn't steal it." On July 31, 2013, Simpson's parole request was granted for 5 of the convictions that had landed him in prison in 2008, including 2 for kidnapping, 2 for robbery, and 1 for burglary with a firearm. The Nevada Border Patrol commissioners made the decision based on the lack of previous criminal convictions on Simpson's record, although he was forced to remain behind bars for related sentences. On July 20, 2017, 70-year-old Simpson appeared on a video conference from Lovelock Correctional Center in front of the Nevada Border Patrol in Carson City to make his case to be set free. The parole board granted Simpson's parole and he was released from Lovelock Correctional Institution in Nevada just after midnight on October 1st. Simpson currently lives in the Las Vegas area, where he is on parole after serving 9 years for armed robbery. This case will forever be one of the most known cases in American history. To this day, many believe Simpson was the one to murder Nicole Brown and Rod Goldman.